Hello everybody, welcome to Mixed Martial Arts, your #1 channel for content related to comics and MMA. Today we'll be discussing the career of Dominick the Dominator Cruz, and asking whether Dominick Cruz is one of the true GOATs of MMA. Dominick Cruz started his pro career on January 29th, 2005 at lightweight. He debuted in the WEC on WEC 26 in a featherweight title fight versus Uriah Faber. Cruz was just 21 years old and was already a lightweight and featherweight champion in other organizations. Cruz landed a powerful takedown early, but Faber capitalized and secured a guillotine choke less than 2 minutes into round 1. But Cruz returned to the WEC in the bantamweight division and secured 4 straight victories, including wins over Charlie Valencia, Ian McCall, Ivan Lopez, and a win over Joseph Benavidez. At WEC 47 on March 6, 2010, Cruz became a bantamweight champion for the first time by defeating Brian Bowles. Cruz was 24 years old and already had become an MMA champion in a major organization. Dominick Cruz defended the WEC title twice. First, he defeated Joseph Benavidez for a second time. Cruz utilized his awkward foot movement and wrestling offense to prevent Benavidez from gaining momentum. It was closer than the first fight, but Cruz secured the split decision victory. Then he defeated Scott Jorgensen at WEC 53, the final WEC event before the promotion's merger with the UFC. This fight was a defense of Cruz's WEC title, and he simultaneously became the inaugural UFC Bantamweight champion. Cruz made his first UFC title defense in a highly anticipated grudge rematch versus Uriah Faber at UFC 132. The fight was incredibly competitive, and Faber dropped Cruz more than once. But Cruz showed his maturation as a mixed martial artist by giving Faber a far tougher fight than their first encounter. Even when Faber got Cruz down, Cruz reversed position and ended the exchange on a positive note. His ability to shut down his opponent's offense was on full display in this bout. Cruz defended his title via a unanimous decision victory. For his next title defense, Cruz fought Demetrius Johnson. He neutralized Johnson's offense and used his size to dominate Johnson for the duration of the fight. Cruz lived up to his nickname, the Dominator, yet again. This was the 4th consecutive defense of Dominick Cruz's bantamweight title. At 26 years old, Cruz was just entering his prime, and he was on fire, riding a 10-fight win streak. Then, Cruz and Faber were selected to coach the Ultimate Fighter live season together to promote their trilogy fight. But Cruz was forced to withdraw 2 months before the fight due to a torn ACL, so he underwent surgery for it. 7 months later, it was revealed that the surgery failed, and Cruz underwent the same ACL surgery again. Cruz was finally slated to defend his title at UFC 169 on February 1st, 2014, against then interim champion Renan Barão. But Cruz's injury struggles weren't over yet. Less than a month before the fight, Cruz pulled out after tearing his groin. Cruz was stripped of the title, and Barão was promoted to undisputed UFC champion. His first title defense came against Uriah Faber at UFC 169. Barão won the fight and successfully defended the title Cruz once held by knocking out Uriah Faber in round 1. Dana White had lost his patience, and it seemed as though the division might have moved on from Dominick Cruz's reign for good. And Barão appeared to be a dominant force that would reign at the top of the division for years to come. Then TJ Dillashaw entered the scene and shocked the world by defeating Renan Barão and winning the Bantamweight Championship at UFC 173. Dominick Cruz's presence in the division was becoming a distant memory. But just before all hope was lost, Dominick Cruz returned against Takeya Mizugaki at UFC 178 in September 2014. It had been nearly 3 years since he last fought. Cruz came back with a vengeance and looks to be in prime form. He knocked Mizugaki out in just over a minute and earned his first ever UFC Performance of the Night bonus. Dana White confirmed that Cruz was next in line for a shot at TJ Dillashaw's title. Cruz had worked his way back to a shot at redemption. But Dominick Cruz's misfortune struck again as he suffered another ACL tear in December of 2014, this time in the other knee. His title fight was delayed. So TJ Dillashaw defended his title against Renan Barão instead and earned another dominant win over the former champion. The anticipation for Cruz versus Dillashaw grew. Almost 2 years after his win over Mizugaki, Cruz finally returned in January 2016 to challenge TJ Dillashaw for the bantamweight title. It was a close fight, but Cruz's footwork left Dillashaw hitting nothing but air in the early rounds. Cruz's head movement was excellent. It was hard to believe that this was Dominick Cruz's first fight after nearly 2 years away from the octagon, and his first title fight since 2011. Although Dillashaw had his moments, especially in the later rounds by targeting the legs of Dominick Cruz, it was too little too late. Cruz defeated TJ Dillashaw by split decision in an absolute stunner. It was a legendary performance by the 30-year-old Dominick Cruz. When asked about whether winning the belt back was the happiest moment of his life, Dominick Cruz delivered an insightful response, and his legend grew.
Is tonight the greatest moment of Dominick Cruz's life?
No. The greatest moment in my life was realizing that I didn't need a belt to be happy.
Wow. I can't imagine how much happier you are now.
There you go. Now it's a cherry on top.
Yeah.
Cruz was finally healthy, and he took this opportunity to make a quick turnaround for his second title defense, which was against Uriah Faber at UFC 199 in June of 2016. But this time, it was Cruz scoring the knockdowns on Uriah Faber. The rivalry had come full circle, and Cruz quite literally cruised to a clear and conclusive unanimous decision victory. Cruz was riding high once again as the king of the bantamweight division. Cruz finished the year with another title defense against a new and young challenger, Cody Garbrandt, the 25-year-old star pupil of Uriah Faber. But this time around, the tables had turned, and it was Cruz getting schooled. Garbrandt used a similar tactic that Cruz had used in his previous fights. Garbrandt landed clean takedowns and used slick head movement to stay ahead in the fight. Although the fight was close at the beginning, Garbrandt took over and dominated Dominick Cruz while absorbing minimal strikes. Cody Garbrandt landed multiple knockdowns on Dominick Cruz that kept him ahead on the scorecards. And he used sensational grappling and scrambling on the ground to prevent Cruz from gaining strong positions. It was an unbelievable performance by the 25-year-old Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt did enough to win the fight by unanimous decision and became the first person to take the bantamweight title away from Dominick Cruz in a fight. It was Dominick Cruz's first loss in more than 9 years, and just the second loss of his career. Cruz was scheduled to face Jimmy Rivera in a non-title bout next, but injuries plagued Cruz yet again as he pulled out of the fight due to a broken arm. Then Cruz was set to face John Lineker at UFC 233, but he withdrew again, this time due to a shoulder injury. He finally returned as a replacement for Jose Aldo in a bantamweight title fight at UFC 249 against then-champion Henry Cejudo. But Cejudo executed a masterful game plan by continuously targeting the legs of Dominick Cruz. Then Cejudo landed a beautiful knee late in round 2 that dropped Cruz, and the fight was stopped with just 2 seconds remaining in the round. Although the stoppage was controversial, Dominick Cruz was officially on the first 2-fight losing streak of his career and had lost the opportunity to reclaim his throne. But Dominick Cruz isn't done yet. He returned at UFC 259 in 2021 and won a close split decision over Casey Kenny. He had a second fight in 2021 at UFC 269 versus the hard-hitting Pedro Munoz, where Cruz got dropped twice in the first round. But Cruz rallied and won rounds 2 and 3 decisively. It was an unbelievable performance by Dominick Cruz that saw him turn back the clock and earn the Fight of the Night bonus in the process. And his ability to recover after being badly hurt by Munoz only added more depth to the controversy surrounding Henry Cejudo's stoppage win over Dominick Cruz. Cruz defeated Pedro Munoz via unanimous decision in a thrilling victory. Now, Cruz stands as the number 7 ranked bantamweight contender in the UFC, and he is inching closer to another opportunity to fight for the belt. And yet, after all his accomplishments, Dominick Cruz is scarcely mentioned in the GOAT conversation. Not only did Dominick Cruz pile up 4 title defenses early on in his career, but his ability to craft a unique fighting style that stood the test of time is also to be commended. Even still, after all these years of fighting, Cruz's opponents are often stumped by his movement and ability to mix up his offense. And at 36 years old, Cruz is still in title contention and continues to defeat top-ranked bantamweight contenders. This is rarely seen, especially in the lighter weight divisions. Cruz's accomplishments are even more impressive when you consider the numerous injuries, surgeries, and extended layoffs he's had to take during his career. I believe Dominick Cruz is the clear number 1 bantamweight fighter of all time. He also deserves to be mentioned more often in the overall GOAT conversation of MMA because of his accomplishments and ability to continue winning against top contenders for the duration of his career. Winning and defending the belt is extremely impressive, but losing a title and regaining it later in your career is a feat that is rarely accomplished in the UFC. If Cruz regains the bantamweight title for a 3rd time in his career and continues defeating top bantamweight contenders in what I view as the most competitive division in the UFC today, then Dominick Cruz may go down as the single greatest MMA fighter of all time. Let me know in the comments what you think of Dominick Cruz's accomplishments and where you place him in the GOAT conversation. Do you think Dominick Cruz has a chance at winning the belt for a 3rd time? And who do you want to see him fight next? I can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. Follow the link in the description to my Twitter page and follow me on there for more mixed martial arts updates. And if you want to see more videos like this one, then hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.